This is Renee Salyer with the Syracuse Wawasee Chamber, and I'm here with Alex Goldsmith, the owner of Wild Thing Tax. The address here is 706 North Huntington Street here in Syracuse, and we're going to talk to her about being a young entrepreneur. So we'll pan over to Alex and ask some questions here. What is your background, Alex?
So I have a bachelor's in accounting from Ball State and a master's of tax from the University of Denver.
And so what inspired you to be a business owner or to start your own business?
Yeah, so I was working in public accounting right after grad school, and then from there transitioned to private industry at Mercedes, and I was working in their tax department, and I was super bored because private industry tax is pretty boring, not a lot changes. So I was doing business, like just personal business with some small businesses in the town that I was living in at the time, and found out that there was no professional support for these businesses that they could actually afford. So I just started Wild Thing in order to help those businesses have access to these types of professional services and advice. I was working out of my home office for the longest time when it was just me, and as we started to expand and hire staff, there was no way that we were going to be able to do that from my home office anymore. But finding office space here in town was really, really hard. We got this space just by chance, but we're going to outgrow this space soon enough. So it's like every next step is going to require a bigger physical space if I want to actually have my staff with me. They can work remotely, and they do, but we work more efficiently when we're all together. So that's an issue, and hopefully will not always be an issue, but for the time being, those are the biggest challenges, I think.
Okay. And so what drew you to Syracuse? Since you were gone and you came back?
Yeah, I grew up here. My mom moved here when I was in middle school, and so I went to Wawasee Middle School and Wawasee High School. And I had come back actually to visit Cassandra, because Cassandra was my best friend from middle school. So I had come back to visit her and realized like how much I loved this area again.
What do you think that young entrepreneurs need in this community?
What do they need?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They definitely need spaces where they can ask questions, kind of similar to this, right? Like they need to be able to know that it's not, owning a business is not as glamorous, I think, as what some people perceive it to be too. So being able to access people that have been there is really important. Because I've moved around, I have resources all over the country that I can call and ask for advice from. If you're in a niche market, that community is much smaller. So being able to access a community of people that you can rely on, and sometimes it's just relying on them to commiserate sometimes, because it's hard, especially if you're a first generation business owner, like first generation in your family or in your friend group or in your current network to start a business. It's hard to relate to those people on a business owner level if they've never been there. So I really think that the chamber is really helpful in that, because you can see all of the business owners that come together and they're ready and happy to talk about their experiences.
So how can people reach you?
Oh, they can go on my website, wildthingtax.com, and we have a new client contact form that everyone will fill out. It just gives us a chance to know a little bit about your situation before you schedule an appointment, and then everything is just online. There'll be like a link once you hit submit on the form, and you can just schedule a time. If you're local, you can come in, but I like to do Zoom calls because it lets me kind of focus on my questions and answers. Whereas I think sometimes if you're in the office, there's a lot going on here, so you can get distracted. But yeah, just go online, or I think you can find us on Facebook and send us a message too, but we're still gonna refer you back to the website and to the contact us form.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.